I'd like to possibly take it into a slightly different direction, because Martin's comments referred partly to British interest in Japan, and there is a whole, series of historical episodes one can talk about, but I'd like to talk about the present day, or at least the last decade or two. Certainly through my organization and many others that I deal with, I'm very aware that there is a sustained interest in Japanese language at universities. The numbers of students applying for places in Japanese studies remains at quite a consistent level. There are, and I think I've got this figure right, about 8,000 school children studying Japanese. There are people who are going to Japan on holiday who would have, from families who would have never thought of traveling to such a distant place. But I think efforts are being made on both sides to open up the possibilities. Consul General Suganuma mentioned the JET program, and of course that's had a tremendous success. Yes, it is Japanese government-led, but the Brits are going there. It is actually making a difference. Martin is one, actually. And my own organization runs the Daiwa Scholarship Scheme, which has been running for about 20 years. And we've seen no lessening in the numbers of people applying. We get excellent British graduates going out to Japan to spend 19 months. In a way, I think the onus is on both the Japanese government, the UK government, and the various private bodies. We're a private foundation, to open the doors and to find channels and opportunities for people to go in both directions. I don't really think there's any lack of interest in doing so, but the opportunities are not always obvious.
Could you take another question, please? And that is the next one.
My name is Junichi Yasutaka. I used to work for NSK, which Marie mentioned earlier, which was the first Japanese company in this region. I'm currently an independent consultant. I would like to thank the Consul General very much for your very, informative information about the current situation and thinking about the future. I fully respect what you said, but as a person in the business circle, that every time I go to London, which I go almost every week, I meet a lot of people who head up the blue chip companies sitting in London, and always, I would say always, the moan and groan after the meetings when we go into the pub is the neglect of Japan in this present world. It is extremely frustrating as a patriot Japanese to see extremely little information from the BBC and on the press today about Japan. There's absolutely none whatsoever. And a friend of mine a Japanese friend of mine working in BBC World said that perhaps it's a little bit dangerous to say in a public situation like this, but there is a clear neglect of that organization to give information about Japan, probably due to various reasons. Anyway, I can go on this forever, but my question to you is that I fully appreciate your proposal of cooperating with the big players such as US and UK, but isn't it about time that we, in using the British term, isn't it about time that we stand on our own feet and be somewhat creative and be innovative and not being afraid of being pinned down by a hammer, because I think that's what is lacking in Japan today, if you understand what I'm talking about. I think, what do you think the Japanese people need how should we behave to draw more attention from the rest of the world? I know people like Marie is working day and out to make the British audience more interested about Japan. But on the other hand, as a person in the business scene, that there seems to be something lacking that I know the cars represent Japan as well, but if you could give me any of your ideas how we can come back to the scene so that Britain would look more towards us? Thank you.
Well, I think we are already standing on our own feet. So on that count, we don't have to worry. The main problem, as I said, is because the Japanese have become too much inward-looking, they have stopped speaking to the world. This is the main problem. Of course, there's the media problem. The media always focus attention to where there's problem or when something is growing. So China or newly emerging problems, countries are more focused. But my feeling is, look at international conference. There used to be so many Japanese everywhere. They have just stopped coming. There's no one, really speaking in English, trying to explain what is happening in Japan, or it's always the same people who come. Yeah, how about young generation? There are so many young people in Japan doing very interesting work and etc. They never come to abroad. Before, in our generation, or probably yours, we always, if someone was ambitious, we used to go abroad and experience the world, etc. Look at the younger generation. They very seldom come abroad. This is the main problem. So I think we have to try to tell our fellow Japanese, no, you should go abroad, try to speak out. Because we have wonderful things going on in Japan. You have to be confident. Everyone is very interested in what is happening in Japan, in every sector I mentioned. So the only thing we can do is, we have to do is to speak up. Explain, just as plainly. So we need much more people like you in the younger generation to come up. Anyone, So someone interested in pop culture, in anime, they are, kind of guru in Japan. If he just come out and make a conference to the young people, I'm sure that there will be a big audience. So everything is there. The only thing we need to do is try to speak out and come abroad. So this is why I'm calling the problem of Japanese being inward-looking.